Well, we're now, 4 days ago was the final, and I still can't stop thinking about it. Welcome back to West Ham Official. Hope you are all well. We join you on this Sunday evening to have a little bit of a chat about everything West Ham. I've got a couple of guests joining me. Firstly, Miss Hammerett, how are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Still buzzing. Really, still kind of pinching myself. Can't quite believe it's real, really. But yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and H, you are over in Prague. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Slowly recovering, but yeah, still absolutely buzzing as well.
Nah, I think we're all on cloud nine still. And to some people it might sound a bit silly, but I still find myself sat watching the videos and all that bus parade and everything, and it just keeps getting better and better, Miss Hammerett.
Yeah, I didn't want that to end. To be honest, I kept seeing all the lives of the players off on Insta and things, joining that, and then going back to the Sky News parade with footage and everything. Honestly, I think at one point they were saying, I think the day after they said 70, 80,000. And I was thinking, there's no way, there's way more than that. And yeah, there was about, what they're saying, about 150, 200K.
It's incredible. And I think what sort of epitomises the week the most, H, is Declan Rice saying we are effing massive live on the BBC News.
What? Twice, wasn't it? He swore.
Standing. I mean, he's just telling the truth at the end of the day. He can't be faulted for that. There's some people don't do enough on TV, right?
Exactly. Let's see, we've got in the chat. Happy Amara, thanks for joining us. Lawrence as well. I hope you're well, mate. I hope you had a good trip to the Bahamas. And I hope all is well with you. Robert as well. I hope you are keeping well. I mean, overall, Noble spoke out again today. He's done a little bit of a statement on the West Ham website, as he did pre-match, sort of rallying everybody, and he's sort of just summed up his thoughts and how he's feeling. And again, he's a voice for the fan base, saying how special the night was, mentioning Deck in there as well. And overall, you could tell from the scenes from the bus tour to everything else that the spotlight on Noble throughout the whole of it. I mean, he's just enjoying it as much as he would have done being sat on the bench, Miss Amarat.
Yeah, I mean, when he went up to Ginge at the end, you see that when he pulled him and dragged him and gave him a hug? I mean, it was something special, wasn't it, that? he just looked in awe of it all, especially at the parade. But yeah, he's Mr. West Ham through and through, bleeds claret and blue. Rice is his prodigy at the end of the day, isn't he? So yeah, it was just been something just truly amazing, and it's our time. And it was just to revel in this and celebrate it is just something so special.
Yeah, and for him to stand on that stage with God knows how many people were there in East London, welcoming everybody back and saying we're not a football club, we're a religion, made me tickle a little bit as well. Hey, it's just I don't know how many pints he consumed by the time he'd said that, but that he was just he's just incredible and sums up everything about the football club.
Yeah, 100%. I think there was a video on the behind the scenes bit, and it looks like he doesn't realise he's being filmed, and he just sort of says, "You don't realise how well supported it is, do you?" And that, oh God, it gets me again now. Like, it made me so emotional because it's true, and I don't think any of us did. Like, he's spot on there, and he really does. If someone recognised it, it's him, and I think that was what was so important in Noble, is he knew what it was to put the shirt on. He knew what it was to play for the club and the fan base, and he's another one where, he's still a big part of the club, but it just seems so many of our ex-players, they're fans now, or they're involved and they love the club. And I think, not being cocky, that's because of us. That's because of the love we and the dedication. And that's why people are saying, Rice can go, but he's not going to be loved anywhere like he is at West Ham. And Noble sees that, Noble appreciates that. So if he could get in his ear about that, as well as everything else he's done, that would be really good.
Exactly. That would just, that would probably earn his pay rise. He's going to get for his sporting director role, whatever he does Monday to Friday. Apart from this, it's just, it's just brilliant. And overall, I mean, I had fears that the parade wouldn't do itself justice because of the sheer amount of fans that were still over in Prague. I thought, obviously there was Fornals's wedding, so it couldn't have been done over the weekend. But I thought that it was a bit harsh on the fans that were still out in Prague. There was expected to be 20,000 still out there when the parade happened. But boy, was I wrong, because everybody else, every West Ham fan in Essex and their mother, managed to get there and completely lined those streets for, the 2 miles from from Upton Park through to Stratford. It was special, and that's the only word for it. And everybody following the bus, and Tilo Kehrer, I mean, take a bow.
Brilliant.
Absolutely, Barmer Samurai, exceptional.
It was amazing, wasn't he? I mean, saying, especially on the stand, I'm not a man of many words, and then just coming out with that, and it was brilliant, wasn't it? Just absolutely fantastic. It just goes to prove, I mean, I'm gutted because I didn't go there, so let's hope this is the start of something really special, and we are just going to push on from there. Because I've got to do this again. I've got to get the opportunity to do this again in my lifetime, to get down there and go to a parade like that. So, because watching it online, it's just not the same as it has been there. I certainly wouldn't want to be one of those bus drivers on my life. How close was everyone to those buses?
How did they turn that first corner around the Boleyn, around the Champion statue to get on the road to go down? Honestly, I would never know. He's not going to get through there. He's not going to get through it. He did somehow.
I know, it was unbelievable. But Artful Dodgers leading it was just perfect as well, wasn't it? It's absolutely perfect. But yeah, it was truly amazing. There aren't any words for it. It just goes to prove to me that we're a family at the end of the day. I said it in a West Ham Fan TV chat the other night. You're born into it, aren't you? In West Ham, you're born into it. It's not a choice. It's not a decision. You're born to it. Well, I certainly am, and I think
we certainly don't do it for the glory.
And I think as well, when we say that, and we say everyone because we don't support Liverpool, Man City, Man United, all the rest of it. We don't do it for the glory, but when the glory does come around every so often, then boy, are we going to celebrate. And that's exactly what we've done. We've received criticism from mainly some jealous Spurs fans that still haven't won anything for 15 years, saying that it's the Papa John's trophy and all this and all of that. But I don't think anybody really understands if you're not one of us, because this has just been truly special, and certainly the best week of my life. And for many people that's been supporting West Ham a lot longer than me, and it's been special, and that doesn't really cover it, H.
No, 100%. And I felt that same way. Like, people can say what they want about it, and it's only tin pot when you're not in it, and it's only tin pot when you're not winning it. And I think we've been through a lot as West Ham fans, right? And that's me at my age. Like, people that have been around a lot longer than I have, that have been travelling home and away a lot longer than I have, the miles and the thousands of pounds that goes into that. That's why it means so much, because it makes that worth it. And if you're a part of a club who doesn't do that, if you're a fan, of a club where you don't get those opportunities or you don't put that work in, well, it doesn't really mean anything to you. And I think we're really humble and really down-to-earth fan base as well. So I suppose that's the difference. We don't go out to expect to win things. So when it does happen, it's so much more special. So of course we're going to go crazy over it. Like, if a millionaire won the lottery, fair enough. But, when your average Joe wins it, it's a big deal, right? Yeah. So that's how it is for us, I think. And I don't really care about anybody's opinions like that. Like, seeing how much it means to us. And I think so many people, in fairness, from other clubs, like I've got friends who are Millwall, Chelsea, and the first thing they did was just message me and say, congratulations, mate, like, you must be buzzing. And I think that's because they really see that we're a genuine fan base. And we've had the relegations, and we've had the, the cup heartbreak and stuff like that. So yeah, it is a special thing for us. And, I hope we are insufferable, because I'm certainly insufferable already. I must be boring everybody, and I will continue to do it, to be honest. And I can't wait for next season, when all we are doing is singing about a European tour again, our trophy. Good for us.
I'll tell you what, the joy would be Spurs away first game of the season, and let's hope for that sake Kane stays there, so we can stand there and sing Harry Kane, we've won more than you, champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Tell you what, those songs are going to hit different next season, and honestly, I cannot wait for it. And we've had low points, of course. We have as a football club, and we've had them this season as well. I have vivid memories, even just this season, standing at Wolves away, standing at Brighton away, thinking, Jesus Christ, this is only going one way here. And then come the end of the season, we're partying like there's no tomorrow. And that's just, and I think that sums up the roller coaster that is West Ham in a nutshell, because it's just, you know, it's not been expected at some points this season. We've had our low points, and now we're going to most certainly enjoy the high points as well. Frema, thanks for joining us. I hope you're well, mate. Lawrence says, I ran around the Bahamas resort yelling West Ham are massive if they thought I was a bit crazy. Well, they don't understand, do they? They don't understand. Ken, hope you're well, mate. Special week. I love West Ham. We're a family. I knew how big we are. And he says, I've not come down privileged to be in the ground. Honestly, it's just, you know, and I'm glad as well. And a few people have mentioned that they prefer the ground that we were into the Champions League final ground last night. And to be fair, I agree, because that was just like the London Stadium, just a little bit worse, wasn't it? And you know, the stadium we were in and HU were there, you can enjoy it a bit more because they were right in front of you there, you know?
Oh, 100%. Like it was unbelievable. I mean, like the guy in front of me threw his hat onto the pitch, you know, Paqueta put it on, like the bucket hats were all thrown in, like it added to the atmosphere, like it made them part of us, like, and us part of them, and we felt part of those celebrations because we were so close. So yeah, really, really grateful for that. I mean, would have been lovely if it was bigger, or if the section of, you know, that Fiorentina couldn't fill was given to us, so more people could get that experience. Like, oh my gosh. But again, in all honesty, like looking at all the videos that have come out, we put in some serious effort in making sure that people could watch that game together and create atmosphere. And I don't believe that many clubs would have had the same effort put in, like fan park after fan park after screening after screening that was busy and popular. And yeah, I think that just proves it all to me. But yeah, it was a real privilege to be in there, and I'm glad that the ground was the way it was, to be honest.
Yeah. You know, every venue looked absolutely rocking, whether it's from the stadium to the official fan park to Ironwork Tours, who put on an exceptional event again, to back in Stratford next to the Orbit, to I think there were screenings in cinemas at O2, and you know, it was absolutely everywhere. There was Box Park, I think, as well, for the West Ham fans. The list is never ending, and you know, there's people watching at home as well. And yeah, massive. And I think that sums up to have 20,000 being a fan park that didn't have tickets to fly out there because, you know, people took some mad routes. Some people drove the whole way out there, you know, flying to different places, getting trains. And, you know, there wasn't many people who had direct flights out. And if you were certainly lucky to get those. And just to see the amount of people that managed to get out there, line those squares, the streets, completely take Prague over, just sums us up, I think. I think it was excellent. John says, we will never know what the true figure was for the parade, but I reckon it was double that when you take into account the lining of the street. I was on Plaistow High Street, and it was manic. You know, everywhere you looked, whether you watched it, and like the drone footage, like, and even when it was just leaving sort of the Boleyn area, like they were showing pictures of Stratford Town Hall, and it was rammed there then, and it was just crazy, absolutely crazy. Ken says I couldn't get back for the parade, was gutted. To be fair, if we'd have done it maybe like this weekend, I don't think the streets would have been able to handle it, because there'd have been another 20,000 people there who were in Prague that would most certainly been there as well. It would have just been even more mental than it already was, and I don't even think that's possible. So and Pat J, West Ham are massive everywhere we go, indeed. And I think overall as well, Miss Summer, I'll come to you, is the whole vibe around the team. I mean, there's that sort of, you know, the popular group at school vibes I get from these boys here. I mean, look at them. They're just that's West Ham United. Just look at those lads and everything about them, the behind the scenes footage, everything at all. They were just having the best time of their life, and it was just special, my Samarat. Oh, can you hear me, Miss Samarat?
Sorry, Jake. Yeah, sorry, Jake. My signal keeps going in and out. Sorry about that. Go on. Sorry.
No, that's right. Just the whole parade and the players, just the mood that they're in and the vibe created is just mental.
Yeah, it was just remarkable, wasn't it? You could just tell it just meant the world to them. You could tell the badge means the world to them. That's all we've ever asked for, isn't it? You know, that 110% on the pitch. I mean, I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if you were, H. I mean, being out there must have been, oh God, that when that equaliser went in, and it's just like, oh, this is just not going to go well. And yeah, it brought back all the sort of panic about the Liverpool FA Cup final. But I think I'm just about got over that now. I think this one could. I think I can get over it now with the fact we've got this under our belt. That's kind of got rid of it, hasn't it? That terrible loss and that awful upset. But yeah, they were just, it's just so proud, and I'm proud for them. just proud to be a Hammerette and proud for all of us as Hammers and proud of Ben, really, full stop. It's just amazing.
Yeah, as well, Lucas Paqueta. I don't know what he'd been drinking or doing, because on that bus he did look rather happy, and to see the "Sold My Car" song being sung on there as well was just incredible, and for him to be going like that, honestly, it's things I don't think we'll ever see again. And the scenes and just like a group and everybody else getting the fans up and getting the songs going. I don't think it's anything we've ever seen before.
No, definitely not. Like, they love it. They love it as much as we do. And I think like that, the knock-on effect that will have on the team going into next season and the fan base going into next season is going to be huge. But yeah, on that day, I mean, watching all the videos emerge of that bus, it's just, I can't stop watching it. Like you said, like it's just over and over again on repeat. Cannot get enough of it. Like seeing them be real people, just enjoying the moment. And I think so many, you see the videos and the first thing he's proper West Ham. He's proper West Ham. He loves it. Like it. And it's just so nice to see. Like they deserve it. I think we have had so much panic about the way the season's gone and what that will mean for the players and how they'll feel about the club. And I think it's just proved to us that they really do care about it. And I think all those people that turned up to that parade have shown something to those players. They will never forget as well in how loved and appreciated they are.
And it's moments we've got to cherish as well, and it's moments that we have to enjoy. And I even said before the final, I said we've got to enjoy this now. Whatever happens, we've got to enjoy this, because this won't come around every week, and you never know, we might all be frantically booking flights to Dublin apprehensively if we get through the group stages. Some people will take the punt and spend £100 and maybe take a punt on that come next season at some point. But the relationship there is now undeniable. You know, the relationship I don't think I've ever seen between a group of players and a fan base. It's just special, and it all stems from the top, from the captain, from the words he said all the way through the playing squad. Question marks about who people want to leave. Yeah. And of course, that was going to come with a dreadful run of form we're on, but that's all been put to bed. And, one thing I want to pick up on as well is Lucas Paqueta said on one of the interviews, or like short things that was put up, clips that was put up onto West Ham Twitter. He said, I'll speak English to you next season. I'll see you next season. So, I mean, that definitely indicates that we're going to see Paqueta in a West Ham shirt next season. Fingers crossed if all things goes to plan. I mean, other midfielders, that are certainly in doubt, but who knows? Who knows? Apache says it was written in the Stars orange kit. We couldn't have worn claret and blue when we finally won a trophy. It's the West Ham way. Oh dear. Lawrence, thanks for joining us. Honestly, to win any trophy, I mean, we take any trophy at any point, but to be wearing that kit, it's just a horrible kit. But maybe now some people can go, it's a lovely kit because we won a trophy in it. We could just take that and go, okay, we'll put it to bed. Thank you very much. Kent says you couldn't offer me £1 million for Wednesday night. It was the biggest of highs. Just sold my car to Lucas Paqueta. Indeed. All of them singing Saïd Benrahma singing his own name, for God's sake, as well. It's just it was just, yeah,
I mean, we were on our way to the ground. Our tram was number 22, so we just started singing "Oh Saïd Benrahma" at a tram. So I mean, we are just, we're crazy, but we love it. Like, we'll create that atmosphere wherever we go. So good for them for joining in, right?
It's insane. It's insane. Ginger Andy Carroll, hope you well, my oil. Still buzzing. Took my shirt and flags to the Isle of Wight. Well, I'll tell you what, I've put my West Ham shirts on over the last few days. I'm worn them with pride, gone out. And Thursday, it wasn't even cold, but I wore my West Ham gilet to school. I mean, I wasn't going to wear nothing West Ham. I mean, I got hot, but I was still wearing it. There was no way I wasn't going to wear anything West Ham. It's just what I had to do. Ken says my dad drove 21 hours to get there. See, no other club would get fans doing this. 21 hours. I mean, worth it in the end, but that's a top effort. It's incredible, Ken. Absolutely incredible. More nights like West Ham, please. We've got a sort of addiction with it now. We've got the likiness of it, and we're all going, we quite like that to happen in the Europa League final next year. We can get used to this, or we can have a good go at the FA Cup next year. We want it again. It's now come once, and we don't want it to stop, Miss Hammerett.
Yeah, and am I right in saying undefeated every match?
Invincible.
Yeah. That's, that in itself is just truly amazing, isn't it? And just remarkable. Do we know any stats on any other club that's done that and achieved that? I wonder.
Definitely
Yeah.
not in the Conference League because
No.
Roma, who won it last year, definitely lost a couple of matches
Mm.
in the group stages as well. So I mean that was good. And to be fair, when Arsenal fans bring out that is yours gold argument, we can just slip through the back door and go, yes, it is, mate. Yes, it is. Lawrence says whenever Rice goes, that badge will always mean something to him. Forever blowing bubbles. The sort of daily dose of Rice. Is he staying? Is he going? Came in a form of a video of him being asked where he wants to go, and he says, "I'm West Ham, mate." You know, that's the sort of daily Rice revelation that came out today, H. And I think, well, it's going to be a long summer of rumours and speculation, and but one thing we've got to enjoy is all these videos and all these comments he keeps saying about us that he just loves us, you know.
Yeah, big time. I mean, there's been speculation for seasons now on Rice, and I think he's been a complete professional. His focus was on him. His focus is on making sure everybody enjoys themselves now. And that's how much he cares for the fans and the club. He wants to make sure that is where we're at. We're not looking weeks down the line about what's gonna come. We're enjoying now, and we're focusing on now. And I think he can be credited for having done that all season, right up until Wednesday. So yeah, I mean the speculation will always exist. I don't like to get caught up in it, especially straight away after a final. You know, everybody in the group chat's already, oh, have you seen it? And come on, man! Like he's enjoying himself, we're enjoying ourselves. Let's just soak it in. Still, like it's still so fresh. It's still almost unbelievable. So yeah, but seeing videos of him saying how much he loves the club and how much it means to him, I mean, that's all we can ask for as a fan base. I think it's lovely for us to see, and it's lovely for us to know that what we give to the club is actually appreciated, because on those cold nights up north, and you know, on those 24-hour in and out of Europe trips where you don't get any sleep, you can't help but wonder, do they really appreciate what goes into this? And then when you see how they respond to us, like on the bus parade and out in Prague, you do see that they get it, and especially Rice gets it. Like the video I got of him on, I think, Ogbonna's shoulders, and when a player sings "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles," that's something special, right? When they're singing our songs and he's on his shoulders and he's singing the song at us, and that to me, and his brother's going mad in the background singing it as well. It's a real love for the club from him and his family, and I think that is so genuine and so real. And I love to see it. So whatever he does, fair play to him. Love the guy. He's given us so much.
Oh, definitely. And we've seen the reciprocation of sort of joy and thankfulness in the last week with all the videos, and it is hopefully a thanks for, as you said, H, all the miles we put in, all the money we spend, all the days out, and it's all repaid in a moment like Wednesday night, something that doesn't come around often enough for a club like West Ham, but boy do we enjoy it when it does come around. And as you could tell, we certainly have. Happy Ham says the first half was awful to watch, but we got the job done now, and that's all that matters. It's all that matters. And if you look at every single UEFA European final this in the last week, none of them have been great. The Europa League final wasn't great. Conference League final wasn't great. Champions League final was dreadful last night.
It was dire.
To stay awake through it. Oh my lord.
Yeah, it was dire.
So I think that it puts it was a rubbish game argument to bed once again. So yeah, we're just going to take it. And to be fair, I don't care what anyone else says. We got there.
Winners, come on, like you can't have it any better way than that, really, can you? That doesn't happen for us ever. So yeah, we take it.
It's the humility they show, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? The humility and the respect that they show to us is just tremendous. They don't have to do that. They're football players, but they're human, and they show that humanity about them, don't they? That person-centeredness around them. Singing like about the Bowen's on Fire song. They love it. They absolutely love it. Even Bowen himself loves it. You see like Danny Dyer being interviewed about it for pre-soccer age, which is tonight, isn't it? But and I love the way he reacted to it. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and as well, I can remember when the Bowen's on Fire song first started. The season after we came back from all the COVID stuff, and it was Everton away, and it all started up, and because at Everton you've got to walk past, got to got to walk past the away fans to get back to the dressing room. And Kevin Nolan got Bowen as we were all singing it, and he hugged him and he said something into his ear, and that's when the Bowen's on Fire song started, and it's never really stopped. And it seems to be the go-to chat in the changing room now after games. Rice starts it off everybody, and you can tell as well. I mean, he was right in front of you, H, but from what we can see, he was loving it. He was getting involved. I mean, I think he's lost the care.
He loved it. So he was on FaceTime to Danny Dyer at the time. And he like turned it round on all of us singing it. And then Sarah like runs in front and grabs the phone to do the ooh, and then everybody. I think there was a little bit of like innocence about it to some degree, because obviously all the friends and family are on the pitch and they're all dancing, not really realizing what it is they're dancing.
Not really knowing what's going on there.
In Desire version. But we're saying it, but nothing's coming out of their mouths, which is fine. But they're on the pitch with the kids. But it was amazing. He absolutely loved it. Everybody loved it. I mean, it was great. It's so good when they get involved with stuff like that. And they appreciate it, because I don't think with that one, I mean, it's something different. I don't think we always know that they know their songs or they like their songs. And even on the bus, them singing about Paqueta, not the car song, but the other one, like the
one.
Oh yeah.
They know their songs. They love their songs. It's absolutely excellent.
I think it's the appreciation element as well, as because we've all questioned that as like we've gone and we've belted out their songs, and in the past they haven't even put their hands up and clapped us. And for Miss Hammerette, for Rice to stand and start off that song, and Paqueta got his got a brilliant sort of ovation at Leicester away the week before when he came off right in front of us, and we all sang the follow song, and for them to be singing their own songs back as well that we've made as a fan base, it just reinforces that appreciation once again.
Yeah, of course it does. And I mean, what Rice did is rap, didn't he, on the bus? Did you see that? That was brilliant. It had to happen, didn't it? So yeah, it just means that you've just got that closer connection with them, which with other clubs, I'm sorry to say, what they'll call the Pig Six, they haven't got that. They just haven't. We've got, our players are our players, and they show us time, and that, like you just said there, Jake, that word appreciation, that's exactly what it is, isn't it?
Oh, exactly. That's it. Let's take this word for comments. The patch says our final was so good that the ref didn't want to end it. Oh my Lord.
I honestly thought he took a bung. I know it sounds bad, but I honestly did, because he was desperate, wasn't he? He was always like he was desperate. It must have been, you must have been biting your nails at that, H. You must have been, because I think I was.
Did you sense it in the stadium that it was just going on and on and on?
To be honest, I think after that goal went in, that was like we were just celebrating the entire time. But there was still that sort of element of nervousness in there. But it's just that problem, like throughout the whole game, right? Like I watched the game back home, and you can see how diabolical it is and how dire it is. Like, it's painful, but it was. There were very, very nervy moments in that ground, and yet we felt that. Like I don't know if anybody will agree with me, but I think there were moments where, as a fan base, we were silent in that ground. We were quiet because we were nervous and we were disappointed in how the game was going. So we didn't create that atmosphere. We didn't do that. But I think, that ultimately comes down to some of the refereeing that took place. And because before that, the buzz was good. The relationship between the two sets of fans was good, and it got a bit sour, I think, purely because of that. So it was a bit of a dampener, but there's not a lot that could take the shine off at the end.
No, and as well, with Declan Rice and everyone just flicked over to Twitter, and somebody's put a tweet out of the thing, and you can see on the stage in the parade, Rice actually singing his own 7 More Years song, and he's going 7 more years, and I'm like, oh, don't do this to me. All these videos, the shape, the sort of scratch on the head, everything, him filming all the fans singing, and it went to 10 more years, and he's like, wow, what is going on in that clip? And I can't handle it. He knows exactly what he's doing, that boy, because he's left all of us constantly questioning, is he going to stay? He's got us all on strings. He's got us all on strings, because I genuinely, I was 90% sure he'd leave before the final. Now, I don't know. There's just a funny feeling deep inside me that I can see him posting one of them pictures from the final and just putting 1 more year. I don't know. I can see, honestly, the scenes, if that happens, West Ham Twitter would never see a like again. I just, I don't know. It's certainly going to be an interesting few months. Robert says, who would our peach be like? No, exactly. And West Ham clips as well. What a truly sensational video that was. I mean, 41 minutes long. Fair play to yourself for getting that out within 4 days, a 41-minute video like that. And I can tell you that takes him a hell of a long time to do. And at the end of the celebrations to have Peach there as well, that I think that made us all emotional and just summed it all up, Miss Amarat.
Yeah, I was doing all right and I was okay up until that 39th minute, and that was it. I just broke down and just happy tears, of course, but tears of just missing him so much. And he's there, he'll have been there, and he'll be watching it, and he'll be with every single one of us always. But yeah, and I was just like, oh my life, I'd done really, really well up until that point. I was keeping it all in, not getting upset, not getting the emotion. But then, yeah, it hit me like a bit of a steam train. But it was so lovely just to see him again, really, to be fair, and just hear him.
Yeah, and I think every single video, and I think you can guarantee every single West Ham fan has watched every single video that's been released with anything to do with the final, because we've just sat there and just watched them on repeat all weekend, and it's it's quite bad, but it's just been truly exceptional. Let's take some more of your comments. Trini says, I saw Man City stole our song and made the song, but I mean it just didn't really hit the same, did it? Rodri's on fire, your defence is terrified. I like Man City. I'm glad they won it. I'm glad they won the treble to shut Man United up. But yeah, that didn't quite hit. As much as the Bowen song did it. John says, Declan, stay at West Ham, establish yourself as England's captain and win the World Cup in 2026. Now, after the final, of course, we're going to talk about Declan Rice all summer, but does it give you a bigger percentage of hope that Rice will stay, H?
It does, but I think purely because me personally, how do you leave after that? People say like, well, because you've achieved something, why go out on a high, fairy tale ending? But for me, after seeing that love that you receive and being on that bus, and like, how do you now walk away without almost like a goodbye? Do you know what I mean? Like, there wasn't like a lot. They never felt like there was a last game. I think that we've had with other players, like what we had with Noble, like your captain's last game, where you get your applause. He sort of did a bit of a lap at home, but not really, because I think all focus was on the final and the other games. But yeah, how do you leave after that? Does he even know? I mean, come on. Like...
And I think there's an interesting point there, because there hasn't been a goodbye, because we haven't seen a wave. There was no wave at Leicester. My eyes were on him and they didn't leave him at Leicester. At Prague, I didn't see a wave. I didn't see, and of course and the goal we scored in the last home game, that's the biggest indication we've had for me. As you said, H, the lap round, and when he scored, he just seemed like, I don't want to leave this place, but I know I have to. That's the sort of sense I got from it. But I've got a feeling, I don't know. I've got a feeling one more year, and as we've sang for months since Bournemouth, one more year, all the way up to 10 more years. I mean, he could establish himself as one of the best. He's now in that category with Billy Bonds and Bobby Moore. Kenny Townley, sort of fantastic painting of the three together side by side, which is truly brilliant. And he's etched himself, as has Jarrod Bowen, and that whole side in West Ham history, alongside the manager David Moyes, who has taken the stick and he's turned it around sensationally and proved us all wrong. And many of these players have proved me wrong as well. I've been harsh critics of the likes of Paqueta and especially Kara this season. And on tomorrow's Monday morning chat, I will eat some humble pie with Tilo Kara, because I thought he was absolutely sensational when he came on under pressure, 45 minutes, and we didn't look at a place without Zuma there. And the celebrations, they speak for themselves with Tilo Kara, and none of those players look like they want to leave, and that's the bottom line of it for me. Let's go on to some final thoughts. Miss Hammer, I'll start with you.
Just again, thanks for the invite on. It's been nice to meet you, H. So that's good. But yeah, I think this is just, let's keep pushing now. Let's move it. Let's go for it. I think what can hold us back? I think going back to what we were saying about Rice, I mean, he's not going to get the opportunity right away to be captain anywhere else right now. So I think he's a level-headed guy, like you said, H, is about very professional, and he's the way he's answered questions has been really, really good. And I think we've just got to let's give it time. And yeah, I'm a bit like, I don't try not to sort of jump on the bandwagon with any speculation. If it happens, it happens. I think each and every single one of us will wish him the very best of luck with his career, and that's right for him. If he's young, he's still got a lot to go for and achieve. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit like you, Jake. I've got that something in my gut that's telling me, yeah, one more year, just one more.
And the sort of revelations keep coming, because the shiver's just gone to my spine of what I've just seen on Instagram. So they keep coming like we're live, and look what Lucas Paqueta has just put onto Instagram. One more.
Oh.
I can't believe what I'm seeing. These players want it, H. They want it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, how can you put that without knowing some?
These players are just, they don't care.
There has to be a line somewhere, because otherwise you're going to mess with us for far too long. I mean, it's emotional enough. It's a roller coaster enough supporting this club. Like, now we need to know what's going on, right? Yeah. I mean, it's why I try to stay out of it, because otherwise it will drive me insane and I won't be able to manage. And to be honest, I don't think there will have been a player who walks back into the London Stadium in an opposition shirt that will hurt me like it will with Rice. I mean, we will love him, we will applaud him, but I can't imagine seeing him in a starting lineup against us. I just can't do it. That genuinely is heartbreaking, especially because we know how good he is, and we know it's going to be a match for us.
I can bear it.
They need to stop all this. But I love how much they love each other. I really do. And the picture you showed us, I love that little gang of like Aguerd, Emerson, Paqueta. It's amazing. Look at them. It's just fantastic. I love it.
I mean, the fashion sense that those guys bring to that squad is absolutely exceptional. I mean, they are just incredible. It's like nothing we've ever seen before at West Ham. But one final question. Of course, the fixtures are released next week, Thursday, 9 a.m. So get ready for Man City at home. Sorry, no, I didn't say that. Who do we want first game of the season, home or away? H, I'll start with you.
I think you absolutely nailed it, and I would love to have Spurs away.
Brilliant.
Like, I've never seen us win at Spurs away in 4-5 games there. And I actually said to my friends, I was like, I'm not coming back here. I hate it. It's a rubbish away day. Yeah. But just to be able to be insufferable with the sing, I would absolutely love it. Let us have that buzz first game. So points aside, whatever aside, give us Spurs away.
Yeah, we all say about Spurs, we always lose. We've lost their last few years. It's rubbish, stupid stadium, stupid this, stupid that. But we'll end up going there next year. So, it's just a reality of it. We've had Spurs away in February and March the last couple of years. Give it us in August. Honestly, give us Spurs away in August. The first game, I don't think any of us, they will not be ready. They can set off their flares and their concourse after beating us next season all they like, but we're going to have that moment. We're going to have those chances and we're going to have it. Miss Hammerett, who would you like first game?
I'm on the same, absolutely same bandwagon, 100%. Let's go there and absolutely show that we're absolutely massive. End of.
And just a more logical way of looking at it as well. So if we can have a completely opposite start to the season that we did this season, because we knew we weren't really going to get anything off Man City. We were never going to beat Forest in their first home game since 1999. And Brighton, that speaks for himself. So if we can avoid Man City, Luton and Brighton in our first 3 games, then I'll be happy. Because we're not going to get anything out of any of those sides, guaranteed. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's take some more of your comments. Apache says, after waiting for 43 years, wouldn't it be just the most West Ham thing now to go on and win another trophy? We've got that addiction there, Miss Hammerett, that we want to go and do it again.
Why not? We can do it. We've proven that we can do it once. We can do it again, can't we? Now we can just keep going. We've got that under our belt, and like I said, we've got the confidence, hopefully, and the team has come together as a team now. That the photos show it, all the videos, all the streams, everything shows it, doesn't it? The way they're playing.
Exactly, and even EastEnders have had it as well. I mean, they did a short last minute little clip with the 2 geezers in the pub with their West Ham shirts and
Alfie
scarves
and Jack, weren't it?
We're just massive, aren't we? I mean, we got onto EastEnders now. Just imagine if Mick was still on there. Danny Dyer, could you imagine Danny Dyer on there? That would be exceptional. But he's done his own little tribute, and he's sort of broken down his thoughts on on the Bowens on Fire song as well. He's right, Bowens on Fire. I love the bloke. That's good. And he's saying, you know, he's doing something to Danny Dyer. And he said, that's a good thing that they're meening. That's a good thing as well. So it's all around good. And he even said he starts it off when he goes West Ham. And I'm like, what is going on here? What's happened to this football club? Yeah. I just cannot get my head around it at all. Right, let's see what some of you guys want on the opening day. Man City. See, some people want Man City. Oh, no. Man City, Man U at home. Well, who knows? Who knows? But, yeah. Miss Hammer, hey, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
No, thank you very much. And we will definitely be riding this wave for a good few more weeks now, even years. I don't care, because a smile has yet to come off of my face yet. From us, Common You Irons, thank you very much, everybody, for watching in the chat. And we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Unofficial. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you later.